I'm so honored and excited that you are here with me today, my fabulous Shiros. If you're not familiar with the word Shiro, it's T plus hero. I use it quite a bit. Excited to have you. I encourage you to take notes throughout our time together. And go ahead if you haven't already opened up the chat box today. And please tell me where are you dialing in from? And then also, what's one thing that you're thankful for today? Where are you coming from? And what's one thing that you are thankful for? I'm a big fan of the chat box. Get your virtual fingers, the virtual version of spirit fingers ready. California, you're grateful for your marriage, Kyla. Awesome. Anita, you're in Charlotte. Guys, I've had a lot of people from Charlotte today. Welcome.
Looks like Instagram algorithm is working in Charlotte.
Instagram is what in Charlotte?
Instagram algorithm.
Okay.
The algorithm that for all the Insta ads and Facebook ads.
Yeah, it's channeling Charlotte, huh?
Yep.
Interesting. I wish I knew how that works. Kyla, how long have you been married?
20 years in August, as of August.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. It brings me so much joy. So I'm really grateful.
Yeah, it's clutch to have a partner, a supportive partner, right?
Absolutely. Well, I mean a good one.
Yeah. Not just anyone.
Right.
But a good one. Right. Awesome. Well, I'm thankful for you, ladies. I'm coming at you live from Denver, Colorado. Confidence, leadership, executive presence. These are my areas of expertise. And like I said, I'm so honored that you're here to learn about these things. I also want to recognize that you are taking time to honor your most important asset, and that is you. And I have a question for you. Do you do a lot to others? For others? Do you do a lot for others? Do you give a lot of yourself for others? Yeah, I imagine that you do. So I commend you. I thank you. I appreciate you for taking time to do something for yourself, to fill your cup, which is incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. So I would love to learn about you. When do you want to feel super empowered? I mean, what brings you here today? And I'm going to share some of the reasons that people who signed up for the masterclass shared with me. But when do you want to feel super empowered? Go ahead and tell me in the chat. What is it that you're looking to enhance, to improve at work, or maybe in your personal life? Either one counts. Anita, I love it. You're thankful for blessings, family, and personal growth. Caitlin, welcome. Go ahead and open up your chat box if you haven't already. And I would love to see, when do you want to feel empowered? Go ahead and share in the chat. All right. Well, here are some of the reasons that people who signed up for the masterclass shared with me. Want to feel empowered when leading my team, when handling my boss, definitely. When I'm new in my role. Anybody here in a new role? Caitlin says, when speaking with my leadership team. Yep, you're going to see that on this slide, Caitlin. When addressing employees, when talking to parents. That was someone who I believe she's a principal for a school. From presenting to executives, right? There you go, Caitlin, speaking to your leadership team. When presenting to a large group, during a board meeting, when you end your workday, and then also in everyday meetings. All kinds of opportunities to be empowered at work. And I have a very, very important question for you. Needy wants to ace your connections at work and have a seat at the table. Yes, by being fearless in your new role. All right, so there you go. You're in a new role. Here's my question for you. How many of you have confidence in certain areas? Like, no problem. I can command the room, Jamie. I can demonstrate my executive presence when I'm in this type of meeting, or when I'm in front of that type of audience, or maybe it's when a certain subject matter is on the table. How many of you have that great confidence in some of those areas? I imagine everybody does. I imagine that all of you have those areas where you're like, yeah, I'm good to go. I'm good to go over here. And then how many of you also have the circumstances where you wish you could take that confidence that you have in the one place and put it in the other place? Does that sound familiar? Is that landing with anybody? How to take that confidence that you have in the one place and put it in the next place? Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited to tell you that you absolutely can. You absolutely can. It takes some strategy, it takes some steps, but you absolutely can. And we'll get into that today. All right, totally, Needy says in the chat. So another question for you here: has imposter syndrome, good old overthinking, that paralysis by analysis, people pleasing, or even perfectionism, which is not on this list, but the curse of perfectionism, have any of these ever inhibited your performance? Have you ever felt that? Yes, thank you. I see the heads nodding. Yeah, I have too. I mean, these are very common things that happen. Yet here's a quick lesson on imposter syndrome that I think you'll appreciate. Did you know, fun fact here, did you know that imposter syndrome is actually one of the most frequently misdiagnosed syndromes that there is? Did you know that? Yeah, what you're actually having, it's not a syndrome at all. It's a moment. It's an imposter moment. Because if you think about it, a syndrome is chronic, right? It's something that you have at all times. And so I hope you experience some relief from this information that what you're experiencing, it's just a moment. It's not a chronic condition, because like you all said, yeah, there's definitely areas where I have confidence, not chronic. And a moment can be managed. A moment can be managed. And some of the things that you'll hear today will help you step out of that moment. So pretty exciting. Hopefully that just saved you thousands of dollars in therapy to get past imposter syndrome. But these are all common things. None of them, though, are places where you need to be stuck. Second question for you here is, what would it feel like to lead with confidence and executive presence consistently in every meeting that you have? Go ahead and just type in the chat box. What's a feeling? What's an emotion? What's something that comes to you when you think about, yeah, if I had that confidence and executive presence in every single meeting? Tell me what meaning you attach to that. Yeah, not just empowering, but incredibly empowering, Caitlin says. You got that right. What else? How else does that feel when you've got that consistent confidence and executive presence? It's empowering, it's uplifting, it's productive, right? When you leave one meeting having rocked it and said, yes, I honored my confidence and executive presence, you know what that does for your next meeting? It sets you up for even more success. There's a lot of momentum that comes from that. So these are essential characteristics to have in the workplace and be successful and to be happy. So I have a couple goals for this webinar, my friends, for you. And the first one is for you to know that building your authentic confidence, that innate confidence, is the best way for you to simultaneously increase innate executive presence. So you're never in that mode of fake it till I make it, which is not one of my favorite phrases. If we have time at the end, I'll tell you what I like to say instead. But then, so it's a genuine, authentic you. You know, confidence isn't just something that you have or you don't. In fact, what you may not be aware of is that you were born with a confidence gene. Everybody has it. And you can think about confidence like a muscle. And let's say, you know, your bicep, for example. Go ahead and look at your bicep, right? Let's say you want to build your bicep. You want to tone it. You want to grow it. What do? Do you just look at it and like say nice things to it? Maybe give it a little tap? No, of course not. What do? You flex it, right? You flex that muscle. And you can build confidence. You can flex confidence just as intentionally as you build muscle, which is pretty exciting, and no gym equipment required. As your confidence builds, so too does your executive presence. And I want you to unequivocally know this. Second goal is that the best and the fastest way for you to build confidence, the kind that advances your career, is through a 3-part system. There's a very intentional, easy way, simple way that you can build your confidence. And I'm going to show you those 3 parts today. Because as we all agreed, you've got confidence over here, you want it over here, and you can absolutely create the bridge to make that happen. So how do I know this, or what makes me an expert on this? Well, let me share with you. So for about 20 years, I spent time in heavily male-dominated industry. technical industries, STEM industries. I was in the automotive refinish industry, and I was also in oil and gas. And there were a lot of days when I was the only female. I was the youngest for a very long time and the person with the least experience in the room. And that rattled my confidence. And for a while, I felt like I was merely surviving, not thriving. And that wasn't okay with me. And I knew that wasn't sustainable for a happy, healthy career. And so I got really curious as to what can I do about this? Because it's going to be a long time before I'm the same age. It's going to be a long time before I have the experience. And I'm never going to be as male as they are, nor do I want to be. I want to be me. And that's when I discovered, and I really leaned into the science and the neuroscience behind confidence. And oh my goodness, did everything change when I figured that out. What I learned is that I didn't have to be the smartest one in the room, the one with the most experience, or even the loudest. But what I absolutely had to do was carry and lead with confidence. And once I did that, opportunities came my way. I earned respect. I had command of that room as well. Well, other women noticed my success in this as I moved up. I've advanced my career 3 different times in 3 different industries. And they said, hey, Jamie, how are you doing this? Like, how are you getting these promotions? And you don't even have technical degrees. And I said, let me show you. I would love to share these secrets with you. Because when you're centered in your confidence, you have no trouble sharing the secrets. You see other men and women as collaborators, not competitors. And so I began speaking. I responded to those requests and I said, sure, I would love to come talk to you what I know about confidence and leadership. And every time I spoke, I had a handful of women that came up to me and they said, I want to learn more. I want to buy your book, which was not on my bucket list, my friends. It was nothing that was even in the works. But fast forward to today, and Speak Up Sister is a bestseller. Kyla on our call today is a proud new owner of the book, Speak Up Sister. And from that, everything else was born. The 3 pillars of leadership, which is my signature coaching program, which just received an award from Training Magazine. I'm super proud of that. Media recognition, book club invitations, news stories, and podcasts. And I share this with you, not to impress you, but to impress upon you just how important these skills are, especially for women working in technical industries. You know, my ladies, you are not put on this earth to play small or play beneath your potential. You are not meant to let others drive your career. This is up to you, and ownership of it, grasping onto that and taking control of the front seat of the car that is your career. It's incredibly empowering and motivating. I mean, if you're going to go to work, if you're going to work hard, you may as well get credit for it, right? I mean, nobody wakes up and says, gosh, I hope I get overlooked at work today. Or I hope my talents go unnoticed. Or I hope that guy in the department next to me, that he's the one that gets the promotion I deserve. No way, of course not. And if you're going to be talking and sitting in meetings anyways, why not do it with that confidence and that executive presence that feels so darn good and gets recognized and respected? Are you with me on this? Can I get an amen in the chat box or some sort of yes, Jamie, we're on board. Well, if you've been going through maybe a tough season or wondering like, yeah, how do I channel that confidence in other places? If you've been struggling, or if there's an area where you're trying to grow it, like when you're new to a role, for example, great news. The good news is that your confidence is not gone. It's not gone. Like I said, it's literally baked into your DNA, but it could have been compromised. Here are some common reasons why confidence gets compromised. First, you're in the midst of something unfamiliar. You're in the midst of something unfamiliar. And Needy, I imagine that this applies to you if you're new to a role. When you're in those unfamiliar circumstances and you went from, hey, I know what I'm doing, to ruh-roh, I don't know what I'm doing as well anymore. That's a classic circumstance that rattles confidence. Second area is when the stakes are high, right? When it matters, when there's a lot riding on it, when you've got an audience full of VIPs. Classic circumstance to rattle confidence. And third one is that you're going through a period of change or transition. And this could be professionally, it could be personally, it could be anything from your company got acquired to you have a new manager, to something on the personal side, like you or a loved one is sick. Classic, unavoidable circumstances in life that rattle confidence. Here's the good news, though. They do not have to overpower you. You do not have to succumb to them. And I'm just curious if anyone wants to share in the chat box, are any of these three resonating for you right now? I had a one-on-one call with a client the other day, and we were doing some diagnostics on why she lost that confidence. And she was like, oh, Jamie, hit the nail on the head. 2 out of 3 of these are happening right now. Here's my question, though. Simultaneously, are you ready? Are you ready? Do you feel like you are capable of more, that you're willing, you're able, and maybe it's just that you don't know where to start or what your roadmap looks like? Because I'm sure glad you're here if this is you. You know, a lot of people go through life experiencing these changes without realizing that these 3 things are specifically what's causing them, and more so how to fix it. So again, like I said, I'm glad that you're here because you're not alone in this. And this is exactly why I do what I do, because I want you to win. I want you to rise above these challenges, get what you want, and get what you deserve. And I say this because one of my clients said to me, she was like, okay, wait, I get it. I've got Taylor Swift's lyrics in my head. You know, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. And no. Let me tell you, you are not the problem. You are actually the solution. You are the solution. But here's why you might think, man, yeah, why, what happened here? What was I doing wrong, or what could I have done differently? Well, ladies, I'm here to tell you that we have been taught the hard way for years. We've been taught the hard way for years. How many of you, show me in the chat here, how many of you have ever been given the very poor advice of, here's what you do. Here's how you're successful at work. You put your head down, you stay in your lane, you work hard, you focus on those hard skills, and you will be recognized. You'll magically be handed promotions on a silver platter. How many of you have ever received that advice? Maybe without the promotion on the silver platter, but the first part. Yeah. And you know, decades ago, that was actually accurate advice. In today's society, digital societies, remote societies, companies with tens of thousands of people, this is not a recipe for success. Second thing that we've been told is that you have to be the loudest voice in the room. Have you ever heard that one? Hey, to get noticed, for your idea to be heard, you have to be the loudest voice in the room. I'm here to tell you that you absolutely do not have to have the deepest voice or the loudest voice. Yet what I will say is you do need to be heard. And there are some specific things you can do to ensure that, no matter how soft-spoken you are. Third one, have you ever heard this? Introverts they can't advance their careers like extroverts. Extroverts have a major advantage in this category. Have you heard that one? Also not true, my friends. Where are my introverts? I want you to breathe a sigh of relief here that you can absolutely and should advance your career. A slightly different strategy than how extroverts do it, because I want you to do it as your authentic self, but you can and you should. And why? Because you bring certain things to the table, like higher emotional intelligence on average, that extroverts don't. So introverts, breathe easy with me here, because you absolutely can advance your career. Here's another one. This is one of my favorites. Talking and communication are often said as synonymous terms. They are not. Talking is a behavior that, of course, we all know how to do. Communication, on the other hand, that's a skill. And just like any skill, whether it's shooting hoops or public speaking or crocheting, those skills take practice. And sometimes we take it for granted that because we know how to talk, we simultaneously know how to communicate. Not the case, but that's really exciting, because when you get intentional about building that communication skill, you will feel the difference, and you will feel the difference fast. And last one here is that, you know what? You don't have to practice the soft skills. And the word soft is intentionally crossed out there. Does the term soft skills get under your skin the way it does mine? Does everybody feel the same way? It's just kind of like this cringy, why would anyone get excited about strengthening soft skills? You don't have to practice. I call them strong instead of soft skills. And that's not true either. You do have to practice giving presentations. You do have to practice having difficult conversations. You do have to practice receiving feedback that might feel a little pinchy, a little stingy in the moment, and yet responding in a way that you can use it. Who's experiencing some relief from knowing like, oh my gosh, yes, I have heard these things. I have been going by these rules. And now, wait a second, they're not even true. They're not even true. So let me share with you what is. Here's some inside scoop, some secrets behind confidence and executive presence. Secret number one. Secret number one is that you have more control over your confidence than you think. You have more control over your confidence than you think. Did you know that confidence, it's a choice? It is a choice that you get to make. When you put attention and effort into it, just like that bicep muscle or any muscle for that matter, it does in fact grow. In fact, do a little experiment with me right now. Wherever you're sitting, or maybe you're taking a walk as you listen to this right now, go ahead and adjust your posture. Adjust your posture right now to sit or stand in a confident position. You make that adjustment. What did you do? Tell me what's a little shift or a tweak that you did to adjust so that you are carrying yourself with more confidence. Yeah, you straighten up a little bit, right? You might tilt up your chin, got that proud chest. Just as intentionally as you can make that shift to your body, you can make the adjustment to your voice. It's called voice mechanics. You can follow a fail-proof meeting preparation plan, for example, so that you exude confidence in the meeting. So you have more control over your confidence than you think, and with intentionality, you can grow it significantly. Next secret is that your voice is in fact your vehicle to success. And I'm curious, do I have any mind readers here with me today? Do I have any clairvoyants? I am not one. Your manager is not either. Your voice is what enables you to ask for opportunities that you deserve. It's what asks for promotions, or maybe you've gotten the promotion and now you need to negotiate your salary. Your voice is how you confidently share ideas in meetings and maybe even be heard the first time. Has anybody ever been plagued by that? Like, I wish I could be heard the first time. Yeah, that's definitely frustrating. Well, proper use of your voice and speaking with confidence, it is essential to success. It's essential. And it's a pretty cool opportunity that your voice is the thing that can take you wherever you want to go. And that brings us to our third secret. Activating your confidence competence loop accelerates your wins. And I promise you, this is easier to do than it is to say. This is an intrinsic way to build your confidence while simultaneously growing and advancing your skills. Each of you has unique gifts, unique strengths, unique superpowers, unique skills. And when you bring awareness to those and you start to spend more time on them, just notice how as they strengthen, so too does your confidence. It's really exciting how this works. And if you want to go deep on this, there's a variety of research studies that will share more about the confidence competence loop. But said in simple terms, it's you get a 2-for-1. As confidence grows, so too does competence. And the inverse is true as well. As competence grows, confidence does too. Very efficient use of your time. So with that, my friends, I will share with you, there is one system for success. Over 80% of the women who have implemented this system have earned promotions, and over 10,000 women have experienced a boost in confidence. And here is your system with the 3 parts that I mentioned. It's training yourself to think, to speak, and to show up with confidence. When you dial in this system, which is simple in execution and powerful in payoff, this trifecta will change your life. It will change your career. It can alter your career and put you on a completely different trajectory than what you might even imagine right now. So when was the last time that you had this feeling? Look at her. Doesn't she look excited when you walked out of a meeting, or maybe it was a difficult conversation and you held your head high, knowing that you crushed it? Isn't that the best feeling? It is such a rush. In fact, share one emotion in the chat with me right now. What's a feeling that you would describe as you're looking at this woman or recalling a time when you did that same thing, when you were walking out of the meeting, you were like, yes, either doing the air fist bump or fist bumping with somebody or high-fiving. It's incredibly exhilarating. It's incredibly empowering. And so I ask you, what would it be like to have this feeling consistently? 3 months from now, 6 months from now, maybe even a year. When you have been rocking your confidence and your leadership skills, imagine what it will feel like when you implement the 3-part system to unleash your confidence and advance your career because of it. Very empowering. Maybe even a different role, maybe even a different level of your salary. When you're exuding executive presence and confidence. Go ahead and give me a yes in the chat box if you're feeling me on this one. Go ahead and give me a yes in the chat box. All right, my friends. Well, building and investing in your confidence is the single most powerful way to strengthen your resilience and advance your career. And let me show you how this works. So here are key professional skills to creating success and fulfillment at work. There's 5 categories. You've got communication, critical thinking, leadership, attitude and mindset, and then teamwork. And sure, you can attempt to build each one of these skills one by one, and you'll get there. You'll get there eventually. I'll warn you, though, it could be a little demotivating along the way. Could take a little while. But if instead you shift your focus on the foundational element that precedes all of these, it will significantly accelerate your learning curve for each of these skills. You approach them from a braver, bolder standpoint, allowing you to embody them faster. What is that foundational skill? I feel like you know this by now. Yes, of course, it is your confidence. So here are some examples of some ladies who have followed the 3-part system and how they have enhanced their own performance at work. So this is Brittany. Brittany is an account executive for a cybersecurity company, and she was struggling to have confidence in meetings, and she knows her stuff. She's a highly intelligent woman. She knows her stuff. And she said, you know what, though? I would get in the meeting and I would be so scared to speak up. And so Brittany started with the foundational element of a confident mindset, of thinking with confidence. And one of those elements is having curiosity. And so Brittany was intentional. She used a protocol about channeling curiosity and says, I use curiosity as a way to stay present and manage my nerves. It is effective and empowering. Go, Brittany, go. And here's Sheena. Sheena is a global senior engineering lead. She had the mindset part down, but what she was really struggling with was some of the articulation and more of that executive presence in her presentations. Well, she leaned into it. She learned the tools that I'll give you access to coming up. And she said, after my presentation, my manager said, excellent job, Sheena. And he's never said that before. And I remember having this conversation with her. English is not Sheena's native language, which added another element for her. And she was so excited. And I'm so excited for her as well. And then we have Kate, also wanted to speak with confidence. She's senior treasury analyst, introvert. She was the one who was sitting in meetings and she had the answers, or she had a question, but she thought, I don't want to sound dumb when I say this. And so she said nothing. And her manager started getting feedback. Why is Kate in these meetings if she's not contributing? Which is the kind of feedback you never want to hear. So Kate leaned in, she did her work. She taught herself to speak with confidence. And she said, you know what? Now I participate in every meeting without even thinking about it. That took practice. That took instilling a new habit. But I remember she set a 10-day goal on this, and she achieved her goal in half that time, in 5 days. And then last example here, this is Sarah, actually Dr. Sarah. She has her PhD. She's a senior operations coordinator. She was okay on the thinking and the speaking, but she was like, I want to be the person when I walk in the room that they think, is that the CEO? Even though I'm not. And so what she did is she learned, she said, I dress the part, I go through my pre-meeting ritual, I review my notes, and I clear my head. And it helps me know that I am prepared, confident, and I belong. And that flipped everything around for Dr. Sarah. She actually had not just one, but 2 promotions offered to her in the same day. in the same day. Pretty exciting examples. Would you agree, of the sheroes who are doing the work and they are getting the results? They are achieving that success. So your 3-part system, my friends, your 3-part system, the trifecta, like I said, to build confidence and advance your career is the thinking with, the speaking with, and the showing up with that innate confidence. That confidence that is built into you. It is in your DNA. And I would love to know which one would make the biggest difference for you. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it a combination of? Which one would make the biggest difference for you? Go ahead and tell me in the chat here. It's usually a combination. The thinking is foundational, speaking, showing up. They're all essential, and they're all so rewarding and exciting. So what would happen? What would start happening if you went into every single meeting with the same level of confidence that these ladies do? If you went in with the exact same strategies on your side, the exact same steps, what would start happening? You absolutely would be calmer, right? And it's not that you won't have nerves, but what you'll be able to do is transfer those nerves into excitement. You'll be heard the first time you speak. Not the second time, not the third time, the first time that you speak. You'll command the room. You'll be respected. This is when special opportunities start popping up. And when people start saying, hey, bring Sarah in here, bring Needy in here, bring Kyla in here. We want them to be a part of this meeting. And then I also want you to think about what would stop happening. What would stop happening? Would you stop second guessing after you leave the meeting? Or would you stop beating yourself up because I had that thing that I wanted to say, or in my head it sounded one way and then it came out another way? What would likely stop happening are those negative thoughts and that beating yourself up or being your own worst critic, none of which are serving you. What would it feel like to reach out to me in a few months or maybe in a few weeks and say, Jamie, guess what? Guess what happened? I want you to have that feeling because I know it is absolutely attainable for you. I got the special opportunity. I crushed my meeting. I received really positive feedback. Well, here's the huge secret behind this, my friends. The lesser known esoteric fact that a lot of women in the workplace still don't know. Gaining this confidence, this executive presence, and this notoriety, this is 100% up to you. It's 100% up to you. This is something that your manager can't give you. Company training doesn't typically do this because it usually offers one at a time, the skills that you saw on the previous slide. And also, most professional development is built by men for men, but not what I'm offering you. Not the training that I offer. And why? Because I am you. I've been in the meetings where I'm the only woman, where I'm the youngest, where I'm the one who I'm like, I know that I am qualified for that position, yet I'm vying with somebody else for it. Where I'm in a new role, right? And I'm intimidated that everybody around me has more experience, or, oh my goodness, my direct reports are going to see right through me. Have you ever been in a meeting where your heart is pounding so hard that you actually look down to see if you can see the palpitations and are wondering if somebody else can? I have. But here's the thing. I figured it out. I cracked the code, and now I teach other women just like you. The ones that you saw in this slide deck, I teach them exactly what they need to do to channel that existing confidence, to be courageous, to honor self-worth, and to follow a step-by-step plan to think, speak, and show up, exuding that executive presence. To say, yes, it is my turn. I'm doing this for myself. I mean, if you're going to be giving a presentation, or like I said, sitting in that meeting anyhow, why not make it easier and more rewarding on yourself when you go in as the most empowered version of you? So at this point, you might be wondering, all right, well, what is this? What does this look like? You're probably excited to learn and implement this 3-part system for yourself, grow and build that innate confidence, that obvious executive presence. Like I said, the kind where you walk in the room and people will say, who don't know you, say, is that the CEO? And you might also be wondering, well, can I do this quickly? Because I don't want to wait years or months or even weeks. And you're also probably wondering, well, how does this work? What's the time commitment? My schedule's already really busy. How can I fit this in? And what does it cost? Well, would you like for me to help you build this level of confidence and experience the difference as quickly as possible? To answer those questions and show you how this is done. Let's do it, my friends. So you'll have two options, right? And actually right now you've got two options. You can continue trying to build these skills on your own, right? You can figure this out on your own. You can create your own schedule of how to build leadership, executive presence, and confidence. You can do your own research, and you can spend a lot of time testing out new skills by yourself. I don't recommend this option. Why? Because this is what I did. And it was hard, and it took a long time, and I felt very much alone in it. And I have to warn you that this is going to cost you time. There's going to be failures while you're testing. There's frustration and unnecessary hits to your self-esteem. I don't want you to go through that. So this is one option, but it's the hard option. You know, I'd hate for you to have this long and arduous route, right? It makes my heart hurt to think that you would have to do that. And that's why you've also got option 2. You can commit to increasing your confidence, executive presence, and career success by using a proven roadmap to get there. This is like having a guide for your journey, right? It's so much easier to go on a hike and know where you're going when you've got somebody who's been there before and can show you the path. So go ahead and give me a little yes in the chat. Give me a big old yes in the chat box if you want to hear more about option 2, because I'm very excited to tell you about this. So option 2, expanding on option 2, is you are invited to a powerful online course called Speak Up to Level Up, the 3-part system to unleash your confidence and power at work. And with this online course, it's done on your own time and with support along the way. Support along the way. I took the most important elements that are needed for success in technical industries. I weeded out the things that you don't need. I included the things that you do need, and I give you the fast track for each of them. You will experience transformation from maybe hesitant or cautious to empowered and confident. Whichever one or combination of those 3 things, the unfamiliar, high stakes, or period of change or transition, you are going to learn to address and overcome each of those. You will experience what it is like to uncover your most confident self and lead with her consistently, not just sporadically or not just that one time on a Tuesday afternoon, but consistently. So what you will put into action, because this isn't just about thinking or contemplating or reflecting, what you're going to put into action is these 3 things. The thinking part definitely layered with speaking and acting with confidence. You're going to learn where confidence comes from, where the source is, and how to consistently find yours. Because like I said, it's already in there. Subtle but significant changes in your voice will happen, in your physiology as well, and your appearance to transform yourself from cautious to confident in those areas where you need it. Like you said, there's some parts where you're like, I got it. Good. Keep doing what you're doing. This is where, though, you're going to learn how to do that in the situations where you aren't quite doing it yet. You will set a goal and you'll be held accountable to achieve it. And you'll also have access to a variety of resources to reinforce your success, including PDFs, bonus videos, live support, and more. This is how to own it, how to own your journey. Where even the most confident of us, we have the days where we get knocked down, but having a firm handle on how to do these things, which you will learn in the course, that allows you to bounce back up and bounce back that much quicker, which, by the way, is the definition of resilience. So the 6 modules that are included in this exciting course, 1, we have setting you up for success. Have you ever started off a program or an online course and you're all fired up and you're all excited at the beginning, and then it kind of fizzles out? We're going to avoid that here by getting some good measures in place, some habits, some systems in place to ensure that you're able to get through the material, not that just you're able to get through it, but that you are wanting to get through it. You're excited for the next module and noticing the differences, the benefits. I have no interest in wasting your time. Second, this is where you're going to learn those foundational elements of thinking with confidence, channeling that mindset. Incredibly important. Here, module 3, speak with confidence. You may remember that I mentioned something called voice mechanics earlier. This is where you're going to learn that along with a brilliant tool called sound bites. Do you want to kick off your next meeting with everybody engaged, listening to you, not looking at their phones? Sound bites are going to help you do that. Module 4 is where you learn to show up with confidence, with your physicality from inside out. And then module 5, to be it, you have to see it. You are going to hear directly from women who have implemented the tools that you will have learned in the previous modules to hear how they did it. And you've got a variety of ladies, so it's somebody for everybody in this module. And then module 6, how to retain your transformation so that what you learned isn't alive and present in that moment, and then you just go back to doing what you're doing. No, my friend, you are going to experience true transformation. So the total value of this course is $1,997. Stick with me, there's even more. So you've got the Speak Up to Level Up course, which has 6 action-driven modules guaranteed to successfully put your skills into practice. You've got videos, short videos, by the way. This isn't go spend 3 hours online with these videos. No, each module is an hour or less, and the videos are in bite-sized chunks, anywhere from 2 minutes to the longest one is about 13 minutes, and on average, they're about 5 or 6 minutes. Audios, PDF guides. You've got a seamless platform. It's hosted on a beautiful platform that delivers your content and ensures an achievable pace. But wait, there's more. You also get bonuses with this incredible program. Your first bonus is setting boundaries. Anybody here interested in setting boundaries or not having people like treading into your space and taking away that precious resource known as time that we all only have a limited amount of? You're going to learn how to get ahead of that with this bonus. Second, discover your positive intelligence or your PQ score. And I won't go into details on that, but this is one of my favorite tools in my coaching toolkit. And then third, there are special resources custom fit to each module. So if you're in the third module, for example, speaking with confidence, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm soaking this up, give me more. You've got it right there. You've got it right there. And that's when the magic really starts to happen. And speaking of magic, I want you to know that I am not a good witch, a sorceress, or a magician. I don't pull out of you anything that you don't already have. What I do is I give you a proven roadmap that helps you find it, that shows you how to take that confidence that you already have in place and one place and use it in another and get what you deserve, my friends. Get what you deserve. So it's kind of like, remember at the end of The Wizard of Oz when Glinda says to Dorothy, oh, my dear, you had it in you this whole time. That's exactly how this is. You've had it in you this whole time. And it's my job to help you find it and draw it out. So ask yourself this very important question. What is the risk? What is the risk of not doing this? Of not taking advantage of this opportunity? Of staying where you are, letting status quo take over, maybe having feelings of, am I selling myself short, or wondering what it would be like? What would it be like if I stepped into full potential? But just wondering about that, well, here's the risk. And here's what I want to eradicate for you. Never being in another meeting where somebody says the thing that was your idea, right? Oh my gosh, that's such a frustrating situation. Let your idea be heard. It deserves to be heard. Or even worse, and this is the one, I can feel this in my chest, someone else gets the role that should have had your name on it. Do not let this be you. Do not. You are better than this. You deserve more than this. You work hard and you need to be rewarded for it. You have more ownership in this than you think. It all starts with that confidence and knowing your intrinsic worth, your value. So let's eradicate this as well, that you will never be able to say, oh, that was my role. That was my role. And we never know, right? We never know when things are going to shift and positions are going to be open. So it makes sense to be preparing for this right now. Well, it's my prediction. It's my forecast, my friends, that when you implement these steps, when you take me up on this offer today, you're going to experience the exact same success that you see shared here with me in these screenshots. These are from Shiros who are saying, oh my gosh, I did it. It worked. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I got the promotion. I got the increase in pay. I got the special opportunity. That one on the right, actually, I just got that like hours before we started today. And I thought, all right, we're putting it in because it's so relevant. All righty, team. So in summary here, the Speak Up to Level Up course, the $1,997 value, you've got 6 action-packed, action-driven models. So this isn't just about sitting back and listening and multitasking. You'll be very engaged through the videos, the audios, the PDF guides, the seamless platform that delivers your confident in such a beautiful way with a wonderful pace, and your bonuses that are valued at over $1,600. So the total investment here would be $2,897, but you know, I'm here to give you a special offer today. So for today, this is available to you for just $97. And I'm guessing that is less than what you spent the last time that you went to Sephora or DSW, or maybe this past week on Amazon. $97. Additionally, I will refund your investment within 14 days if you've done the work and you're not satisfied. Try and make this as no-brainer as possible for you because I want you to get these results. I want you to win. Here are 3 women that took me up on this offer. I've got Carol, Nikki, and Ann, and each of them said, oh my gosh, I really look forward to spending this time on me. And incidentally, each of these women have been promoted since they started this program. Also, as a fast action bonus for signing up today, you get yet another tool for your toolkit, and that is the 5 steps to master your next meeting. 5 steps that you're like, oh my gosh, that was so simple, so easy. And yes, I showed up so powerfully in my meeting. And that brings us here. Here's your QR code to scan. Get started today. And this offer goes away. So I highly encourage you, take me up on this right now. You've got nothing to lose. You've got everything to gain. I thank you, my friends. I appreciate you, my Shiros. I believe in you. I sure hope you take me up on this offer and experience the same reward, the same fulfillment, the same success, or maybe even more as the women who you've seen here today who have gone before you. So please join me in the Shirohood, which is she plus hero plus sisterhood. We would be thrilled to have you, and I know that you will never look back. Go, Shiros, go. Have an incredibly powerful day. Take advantage of the offer, and I hope to see you inside Speak Up to Level Up.